Hey guys, come right along with me while I introduce the Cavaletti to a horse for the first time. So here we are. We have a good first look at the Cavaletti. They are freshly painted, so they are very bright white. And Logan says he's not too sure about them. So the point of Cavaletti is obviously to go over them, but in helping a horse gain confidence with them, what I start by doing is walking past them. And I like to take my time, give the horse as much room as they can handle. If they can look at them without being silly, then I let them do that. If looking at them is too much and they just can't handle it, I will put them into a shoulder fort away from the Cavaletti as I walk by. But Logan seems to be doing pretty good about it. And again, just showing both sides because one side is not always viewed the same as the other. So you want to make sure that you show them both sides out of both eyes. And just a helpful hint, this is the same type of work that I do to begin trail loading too, is just walking the horse by a scary thing, introducing ditches, anything like that. It just helps them gain confidence without the pressure of actually going over it or through it the first time. So then I like to walk beside it, perpendicular to it, as if I could line up to go through it. And this is what I like to do at all three gaits, because I know eventually I'm going to be trotting and cantering over it. That's the goal. So I want to be able to pass by it just as if I was lining myself up for going over it. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go around it, the opposite eye. And this is just proving to the horse that this is an object that is not going to reach out and get you. It's stationary, and it's just something that we have to go by. And this walking back and forth can last as long as it needs to for your horse. Logan seems to be doing pretty good, so I'll start trotting around it. And again, like, I don't want to chase him around it. I just want him to be able to be comfortable passing by it. So we'll do this at the trot, both directions. This also gives him the chance to kind of see the Cavaletti out of all the zones of his vision. So turning to the inside, keeping the Cavaletti on the inside of the bend, puts it in a different zone of vision, turning away from the Cavaletti, putting it on the outside, puts it in a different zone of vision. All of that is setting me up for success if and when he was to go through it and the pole falls down, the X's fall, which is more than likely going to happen at some point, right? So you want to make sure that you've covered all of your bases in preparation to make sure that he knows whenever he sees this out of any zones of his vision, it is okay. He is going to be fine. We just needed some clarity in that canter to part, so we're just going to work for a second. Here we go. So then, of course, we're going to canter by it. And the big thing is when you are going by something, that you make sure you have zero intention of going over it, because what you're teaching the horse to focus on is your focus, not if he's scared of anything or if something's wrong, but look where you are going and stay focused on what you are asking him to stay focused on. And again, if they're confident, put a transition beside it, because anytime you can cause them to pay attention more to you than the Cavaletti, even with the Cavaletti in the way, that can help them gain more confidence with the work around the Cavaletti, which in turn is going to help the work over and with the Cavaletti. So that is all the desensitization process, right? Like where you can go past it and just accept it in your space. Now comes the part of actually walking over it for the first time. And to my knowledge, this horse has never done poles of any kind. So it's really important to me just to keep him confident and feeling like he can keep moving forward without rushing forward through it. So again, this is going to take a little bit of time, but I know that in the long run, taking this step by step like this today is going to help set him up for success in more Cavaletti activities that I have planned for him down the line. And so here, like I was thinking, we got a little stuck over the middle of it. So when that happens, I don't want to make a big deal out of it because I just was trying to spend the time to make sure that he's comfortable with Cavaletti. So if I had gone to kicking at him or clucking to him in that moment, that probably would have been too much for him. So instead, I am going to see, since he very calmly walked out of it, I'm going to see if adding a little bit of impulsion with the trot can actually help me in this instance with this horse. And it does. So I want to make sure that my seat is light, but I don't want to lean too far forward and cause him balance problems. And I just want to kind of let the Cavaletti do the work in his trot. So this is, the short strided horse that I used for another video. So of course Cavalettis are on my to-do list with him. So I'm very excited to get to this point, but I don't want to hurry him up past the Cavaletti because I want to keep his tempo the same. So I don't want to teach him to rush it by clicking him up to it or kicking him or, take a bigger stride, take a bigger step. All I want to do is keep the same tempo and see if the Cavaletti itself can help loosen and lengthen him. And then this part of the exercise is where it really starts to get good, when you can do a figure 8 over a single Cavaletti. That's like my go-to beginner Cavaletti exercise, because the change of bend and direction over the Cavaletti really helps to kind of create a bit more looseness, which in turn helps you develop a better gait, whatever gait you are doing going over the Cavaletti. So right now we're trotting, obviously. And so what I'm looking for in the Cavaletti is that it helps to teach Logan. He can reach farther and bend more without me having to do either one for him. And it is definitely a process that we'll be repeating. But I already can tell you I really liked what this little bit of trotting over the Cavaletti did in his body. And his trot started to feel quite nice, even though he would have some moments of slight inversion and wasn't quite sure how to truly balance himself. The more he does this work, the better it's going to get. So that is where I was happy with him ending today. I don't feel the need to canter him over it because he still had some spots of inversion before and after in the trot. I want to take my time with the trot and see if I can get that evened out before I start the canter. So I hope this helps you guys in introducing Cavaletti work to your own horses. Make the next ride a good one. See you next time.